Hello everybody, welcome back to the Giveaway Motovlog channel. Today is the 26th of December and I would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. It's gonna snow tomorrow. The weather forecast is not on the positive side. I'm very often asked, it's actually one of the most frequently asked questions, and that is, aren't you cold to ride in the winter? Well, I tell them, with the proper gear, you wouldn't be cold. And on top of that, I very often tell them that people living in Europe, for example, in Western or Northern Europe, they ride even in the winter, no problem. I mean, there are so many families, so many people who don't have a car. So for them, motorcycling is the only means of transportation. So if they can do it, why can't I do it? This is my justification. One of the justifications, if you like it, for riding in the winter. There's something I'd like to tell you. Last week on Friday, I got into an accident, traffic accident. So I was riding my bike on the road like this, and you know, I had to turn left, but I was riding behind the car. So when we approached the intersection, the car was turning around this way, but I was turning left and I was overtaking him while turning. You can imagine that this maneuver in the end resulted in the collision. So I smashed at the guy's car. I literally destroyed his front left wing fender, and I also destroyed his front bumper. So I hit the car with the right hand side of this bike. Was I injured? No, thanks God. My speed wasn't that high, so I could apply the brakes as far as I could, you know, to slow myself down, but I couldn't escape really. So I just hit the car, and my right foot was almost squeezed between the tank and the driver's door. Just because the speed wasn't very high, I just hit that car, I jumped out of it, and then I let the bike take a nap onto the left side. This is the reason why my right hand side indicator is gone. It was actually on the guy's car, you know, on his wing, on his fender. So yes, what's the lesson to be learned from this accident? First of all, never overtake on the intersections. Second thing is, don't violate the traffic regulations. This could have been avoided if I wasn't riding on the left hand side of this car. This would have been avoided if I was riding behind him and turn left only after letting him turn back. To be honest, I was rushing because I had a meeting, you know, to catch up, and I blame all of this on that. So watch out. Okay, you're not on a car. The mistake on a bike may be quite costly in comparison to driving a car. Give way! So I'm comparing filtering on VanVan to filtering on the KTM. You see the mirror location and the handlebar location relative to the cars sitting in traffic. So there is a higher chance of smashing somebody's mirrors. On the KTM, the such possibility is quite low because the bike is much higher, much taller. Yet, it's so much easier to maneuver in traffic on this little bike in comparison to the KTM, which is quite heavy. So when you're doing such kind of maneuvers, too much of angling in the filtering can really make the bike fall. So if only VanVan had a taller handlebar or maybe a lower handlebar, I don't know, it would have been a tad bit easier to filter in the traffic. But then, of course, there would be some other shortcomings to such a posture.